why is Bru McCoy not going to SEC Media Days? Now, here is what I was told in a conversation with some people, and it was this. It was that he would be asked about his injury repeatedly over and over and over. And so for those that don't know, the way SEC Media Days works, and I imagine the other ones do as well, is you go into one room. Now you went with me, Caleb. You go into one room, and that's kind of the print room. That's where the majority of the stuff you're going to see goes to. And then you've got to go to the ESPN room, and then you've got to go to it used to be the SEC Network room, but I guess they won't have that anymore. And then the CBS. But anyway, point is, you go to about 5 different rooms and answer about the same question about 18 different times. So the thinking was they didn't want Bru to have to go answer questions about the gruesome injury that he underwent in the opener last year. What's your take on that?
I don't believe it. I don't believe them for 1 second. Why is Keenan Pili going? I mean, if it's about injuries and not wanting to be asked about it, why is Keenan Pili going to SEC Media Days and not Bru McCoy? That makes absolutely no sense.
I can make 0 sense of McCoy. I can at least argue that Nico shouldn't go because he's a redshirt freshman, that Keenan Pili shouldn't go because he's barely played and he was hurt. I'm with you. I can't come up, and I mean this with all respect, if they're trying to protect Bru and they don't want him to get asked those questions, and he's already been asked those questions a million times. But let's remember, he's been asked those questions at times in which he's gotten paid to be there. Okay? Because these are NIL opportunities. And if that's part of the deal, that's part of the deal. Now, that wasn't the case at he didn't make any money off the golf tournament, but still he was asked that. So that's been a concern. But Caleb, it's pretty simple to me. You just say this. You say, Bru, every time you're asked about the injury, you say, everything good already. And then if they say, do you notice any pain from it? Everything good already. You can just repeat yourself. I mean, just watch a debate with Donald Trump on it. Like him or love him, he knows how to drive home a message. That's eventually reporters would stop asking questions if you just short answered it.
There is a...
Wouldn't you, if you kept asking, if you asked 3 straight questions about the injury and he said, all good, I'll be fine. Wouldn't you stop?
Yes, I'd stop. This is the problem. They're not sending Bru not for this reason. There's another uncomfortable reason they're not sending Bru. And it's not the charges were dropped. We don't know what happened. We should never hold this against somebody when charges have been dropped. However, the Title IX investigation that got him banned from campus at USC would be asked if he went to SEC Media Days, particularly in light of members of Josh Heupel's coaching tree at Utah State recently getting in trouble for Title IX firings. Josh Heupel was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma when the Joe Mixon scandal broke, for those who don't know. Yeah, it's about that. That's why they didn't bring James Pierce either. They don't want people asked about their legal past.
I disagree. I think both the reasons are weak. If that's the reason, that's weak. If it's the reason I've been led to believe, that's weak too. So I'm not saying that your reason is any better or worse than mine and has more validity or less. I just think that I don't think that's it. I do think it's the injury, but let's be really pragmatic here too. Now, I was told nobody asked Bru if he wanted to go. Okay. I've also talked to people over there about doing exclusive takeout pieces on players. And you know what the response is, Caleb? They're going to want to get paid. This is going from NIL to TMZ, and you better be real careful here because TMZ pays for interviews. And when you pay somebody for an interview, they're more likely to say something outlandish and untrue to get that next check for that next interview. Be real careful here where you are, SEC and NCAA, because I will tell you that I may be the exception to the rule. I think Cooper Mays is 100% genuine on the program. Incredible when we have him on. But can I tell you that all 85 guys on scholarship would be that? No. So you better be real careful if your media opportunities are tied to paid opportunities. That is a slippery slope, Caleb.
Okay. So that is a very slippery slope. It still doesn't explain it. The injury doesn't make sense. Dave, I'm trying to hammer this out. You think it's by the injury. You think it's because of the injury. If it's because of the injury, why would they let Keenan Peely go?
Okay, but let's all be honest with ourselves. We don't 100% know. I'm telling you what I've heard. You're telling me what you think. One of the possibilities too is neither of the above, that they just thought, goodness gracious, the guy makes $10,000 to go to a car dealership for an afternoon. Do you think he really wants to get in a plane and go to Dallas for free? I mean, that's what it is.
Get in a plane to go to Dallas for free. It's a trip to Dallas.
Okay, Caleb. So where's your favorite place to go?
Oh, I'm a Vegas guy. I like going to Vegas.
You can go to Vegas. You fly out there. It's a 2-hour flight. You spend 4 hours in Vegas, then you're out too. Or you can go down to a car dealership and they're going to hand you $10,000 because Caleb Calhoun's there. What are you doing?
Okay, then the car dealership. However, wait, I'll go further. Are you telling me there's not NIL sponsorship opportunities in Dallas during SEC Media Days?
Well, now I would argue that you make your whole brand bigger, and that the national opportunities come in, and that if I'm Bru, I want to go. Does it surprise you? Let's focus on this. Does it surprise you for a moment that Bru is not asked? Brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design. They want to be your jeweler looking for affordable game day jewelry. How about the Fire Opals, a Tennessee tradition? RickTerryJewelry.com. RickTerryJewelry.com. Surprise you he wasn't asked?
Yes, I actually predicted that it would be Bru McCoy, Cooper Mays, and Keenan Peely going. I didn't think Amari Thomas would go a second year in a row.
Okay, I thought you thought Nico would go.
No, I didn't think Nico or Pierce would go. I thought they would. They have a history of choosing leaders over the best players, and so I think that I think they were going to send Bru McCoy, Cooper Mays, and Keenan Peely. And I thought that was just a spread the wealth moment since Amari Thomas went last year, and so he wouldn't have to go this year. That's what I thought was going to happen, but they sent Amari Thomas and not Bru McCoy, which is kind of interesting.
I was surprised by the grouping. I do think though that Tennessee has 3 really good representatives. Now, there's some people that they don't have 3 guys that can stand in front of a microphone. Tennessee has 3 really good representatives, so count that as a plus. Tennessee's going to come off looking really good in Big D. I can promise you that.